Self-join. This is not a real SQL operator. This is just to remind you that SQL allows you to join the table with an image for the very same table. When writing the SQL statement, this is mandatory that the table and its image use different aliases. Self-joins are necessary, for instance, when you have a table representing a company's org chart and its hierarchy. This table can have columns such as the employee ID, employee name, job, and the employee boss ID. In case you want to find the name of somebody boss, you need to use a self-join. Employee name comes from the original table, and the boss name comes from the image table. I hope this idea gets clearer with this example. What I'll do here is create a table called employee, and this table will have the columns I have mentioned before. And run it. Okay, now we have a table. Now I will populate this table with a simple example of a company with only 6 employees, and I'll populate this table with information those 6 employees. Okay, before getting the information I've mentioned, let me show you how we have the information. In the raw form, let's say this is how the table stores the data. This is it. The ID, which should never repeat the employee name, the job title. And here we have the ID of this person's boss. In this case, this employee, Gustavo, is associated with Pierre, the CIO. I can say this by looking at the table, but you know, in a report you have to show things in a better way. So let's run a new example with the self-join. I'd like to show the employee ID. The employee name, the employee job title, and the employee boss ID. Those are the columns we originally have in this table employee, but I intend to add new information. I will show the boss name getting the information from a mirror table. And I'll also show the boss title again coming from this mirror table. This is why I use aliases here, just to make sure we understand which names we're talking about, the employees or his boss, and which title, job title, we are talking about. Again, the employee or the boss job title the self-join will work like this. I will select the table, give it an alias E, and then I'll select a regular join operator to the very same table as an image. And to make sure this is more understandable, the alias I pick here is mirror. And the correspondent key on those two tables are these. Get the boss ID from the employee table and make it equal to the employee ID from the mirror table. This will make sure when I get information from the mirror table, I'm sure I'm taking about somebody's boss. And let's run this example. Here we have the results. As I said in my example, the employee Gustavo works under Pierre, who is a CIO. The employee Henrique, an accountant, works under Barat, who is a CFO, and so on. Again, both shelves here, Pierre and Barat work under Sam, the CEO. We see we have all the company's hierarchy here, and we have extra detail. This is Sam. He has no boss because he is the CEO. This record is only shown here because in advance. I thought about using a left join in my SQL statement instead, or inner join. When I did that, I made sure I would show every single record from the employee table, and not only the intersection of both tables. As the CEO has no boss stored here in the table, this single record would be left out of the result in case I use a inner join. Well, I hope this information about self-join got with this example. Let's return it to the next step.